What's up, guys? Welcome to another late night impromptu home theater hangout. So I figured we'll hang out for a little bit, maybe like an hour or so tonight, see what you guys are up to. But in the meantime, we'll cover some news that just dropped recently, which I think some of you guys may have heard of. We have coming September 16th, we have Tron and Tron Legacy coming to 4K Blu-ray. I personally don't think Tron 1 from 1982 is probably going to look all that great, but I'm sure Tron Legacy will be quite the banger. I know Tron Legacy was shot, I believe, only in 1080p, but if it looks anything like the regular Blu-ray, it should look pretty good, especially with a lot less compression. But it says here, comes to us via Bleeding Cool News. Finally, both Tron and Tron Legacy are getting some new home releases, which entirely makes sense. Both of these films have lived and died from home releases, specifically physical home media. So releasing some shiny new ones feels like a necessity. Disney has fully remastered the original 1982 cult classic Tron and the 2010 sequel Tron Legacy in 4K Ultra HD. Both groundbreaking features will be available everywhere on digital and Blu-ray Steelbook beginning Tuesday, September 16th, 2025. They are very pretty looking too. So there it is, man. I would drop some links for these, but there are no pre-order links at the time of this video. But once they go live, I'm sure I will drop some links in the community tab. But I'm definitely looking forward to this because if you remember correctly, let's share some screens here. Tron Legacy did have the expanded aspect ratio. Boom. Give me a second here. So this is from Tron Legacy, and how's this gonna play out? I don't want to play it because I don't want to catch copyright, but as you can see here, I mean, this is like the opening shot with his dad. They attempted to de-age him, which looked pretty bad at the time. Well, it looks pretty bad by today's standards. I mean, that just looks really bad. That looks so 2010. So this is obviously 2.39 aspect ratio, and I remember watching this not that long ago. I want to say a few months ago, and I didn't realize that this had the expanded aspect ratio. But here, once he goes to answer his dad's page, he goes back to the arcade, and boom, there you go. It goes full screen. I don't know if this was a thing back in 2010 where they promoted IMAX or not. Like, I don't believe so. I mean, if it was, so I'm sure one of you guys will know. But so this will have the expanded IMAX, or, well, the expanded ratios, which do look cool on the 3D Blu-ray. I mean, if you have the 3D Blu-ray, it's still top tier 3D, if you ask me, and especially towards the end here, where they go through they have the aerial battle, which is very much like, Top Gun Maverick. I mean, there's a lot of the same moves that you see in Maverick is also in Legacy. I mean, these highlights should look awesome. All the blue lights, blue, white, red lights, orange lights. Yeah, let me not let that play out because I'm sure I'll get stung with a copyright. But all this stuff looks great when he's falling out of the plane. Well, when his vehicle crashes midair and he drops into the water. All look really great in 3D. And these are all hopefully they'll maintain the aspect ratio when it comes on 4K. But this still is one of the best. If you just want to see if your subwoofers are working, this is one of the best movies to test out your subwoofers. The race scene at about 43 minutes is still one of the best test scenes ever. This is where he first starts up the light cycle and it blows up and it transforms. He drives away, and this whole scene right here is just demo worthy base wise. I hope, although I'm 90% sure they'll probably gimp the base on this, which is really going to suck. So unless they really do up the Atmos and give us a lot of overhead effects, I'm not sure what they're going to put up there, but unless they do that, then probably the de facto standard will probably still be the DTS mix. Because this still holds up really well today, especially if you upmix it with Neural X or Dolby Surround upmixer. It still holds up really well. And that's just going to look awesome in HDR. I will, of course, remux the Atmos audio on the 3D disc, provided it looks good. But these are going to be fresh, new remastered, all fresh, new remasters. Again, I personally don't think the 82 one's probably going to look all that great, but you never know. But this is Tron Legacy and then Tron 1982, all coming September 16th on 4K Blu-ray. Do you think they're going to keep the expanded aspect ratio? Leave your comment down below. So that is Tron. Another thing I wanted to bring up today. I released my Ballerina 4K Blu-ray review 2 days ago. I think it's 2 days ago now. And I was actually kind of surprised that I got a lot of views on that. A surprising amount of views on that, because not too many people, like I believe it bombed at the box office. I think it made like $50 million or something like that. Unfortunately. But this is Ballerina. You can get it now. Good price, $27.96. Of course it'd be a good price, right? $27.96. I was very disappointed in it. I think most of you guys that might have saw it on digital noticed that it didn't sound all that great either, but I got a couple of comments that were just like, yeah, it sounded good. And if you had seen that video, I was trying to bait some people in it when I say, if you don't know what the Dolby Atmos viewer is, you can find a link down below in this video's description that tells you all about it, what it does and where to get it. You could also find a list of all the gear that I use for these 4K reviews down there as well. But in that little portion, I put down, like my 98-inch TV, like my Bravia 8, and like my 26-channel turn-off setup, because I knew that would piss somebody off. So I was waiting for that to piss somebody off to say, oh, why are you trying to say you need all this stuff and all that stuff? Well, I finally got a response to that, and it was from somebody that supposedly reviews movies as well. So I was like, oh, I knew it would be another reviewer. And this person has, if he's in the chat today, feel free to speak up, but he said that I was, I was wrong for saying that. Like, most people don't have 26 channels, and that I got all my stuff for free, that it's not normal to have this stuff, and it sounds good on his system, which happens to be a Sony HTA9. Now, if you guys know what the HTA9 is, that's Sony's 4-speaker setup with upfiring drivers to give you the Atmos effect. The system also does not come with a subwoofer, so you do have to purchase a subwoofer, which is optional. You can get I think the $300 subwoofer or the $700 subwoofer, which I think is like the HT300, HT700, I think it is. So him and another guy got into it in the comment section of that video, which I thought was kind of funny. But it goes to show that he said it sounded great on his HTA9, and that essentially I was wrong for saying it didn't sound good on my system. which goes to what a lot of people think. Why do these audio mixes sound bad? Because they're dumbing them down to sound good on sound bars and smaller and smaller setups. Whereas in fact, he said it sounded great on his HTA9, which would make sense if that was the truth. If he was blown away by the sound quality on his 4-channel surround sound setup, man, good for you. That's fantastic. But why did I say that? Why did I leave that little nugget in my review? I just wanted to see who would get pissed off by that. And I knew like maybe if another 4K reviewer saw that, they would probably feel a certain way about it. And what kind of credibility would I have if I didn't have the absolute best system that I could have when giving my feedback on the AV quality? If I told you guys I was watching this on a $600 75-inch Hisense LED TV, and I said the blacks look like crap in every single movie, you would probably know why. If I was reviewing this on a Hisense or Samsung soundbar, and I said the bass was outrageously good in every single thing that I reviewed, you would probably know why. And I would I wouldn't have any kind of credibility in my reviewing skills. I know some of you guys don't rely on my reviewing skills anyways, but for a lot of you, I think you guys do. That's because I like to think I have reference gear. Like, you can't review movies if you don't have reference gear. You just can't. It just doesn't make sense why you would. So, for you guys out there that are reviewing movies out there, the reason why you should have reference quality gear is so you can give a really good informed opinion on what you're experiencing on these 4K transfers, these discs, these movies that you're watching at home. You can't really say, hey man, the audio sounded good. This Atmos mix sounded good on my 4-channel setup. Because we all know you need speakers over your head. You just have to. You gotta have some good subwoofers, and you definitely have to have a good display. If you don't have any of those, your review is kind of garbage. It's out the window. We can't trust you. If you just want to review the movie and say, listen, I think it looks good on my TV, that's fine. But you really do have to have some good equipment if you want to give a true representation of what most people with quality gear at their houses would expect. That's why I threw that little nugget in the ballerina review. That's why I said it, just to see if it would upset anybody. And clearly, it struck a chord with at least one 4K reviewer, I guess. One 4K movie reviewer. Anyways, what are your thoughts on people having the proper equipment when they're reviewing movies? Should they have reference quality gear, or should they just go with whatever they got and just throw up their own reviews on YouTube? Leave your thoughts down below. Let me know how you feel about that. Okay, that is my second topic. What else did I have here? Another future review I got coming up. Let me bring this up. Where is it? So there's already a few reviews of this on YouTube already, which you can go see. I was a little disturbed that these reviews were already out because I know that it's going to eat into my review. Like, I'm probably not going to get any views on this at all anymore because there's already reviews. But this is the Anchor Soundcore Nebula X1 Pro. You probably ran across this on Instagram or Facebook or something. There's ads everywhere for this thing, but this is a projector. It's an outdoor projector. Well, it's essentially the Nebula X1 that I reviewed a few months back, except that it comes in this big form factor. Let me see if there's a better picture of it. So here, this is the projector here. It has a lens that can angle, like, it doesn't have lens shift where it moves the lens up and down. It has an angle where it angles your lens up and down. So if you're using the angle feature, you will have to use the digital keystone correction, because if you angle it, you're going to get a trapezoid image. So it's like, I understand why they did it, but it's kind of a bad idea. Like, why wouldn't you just put a lens shift on it? The lens angle just not a good idea. Anchor, do lens shift next time. The lens angle, such a dumb idea. Anyways, this is just like the Nebula X1. It's a triple laser, uses the 0.47 DMD, which is a pixel shifter. It's a 1080p pixel shifter. Will give you 4K. I mean, if you can't see the rainbow effect, then good on you. I see the rainbow effect on these 0.47 chips all the time. Sometimes it's just so bad. Sometimes I just get a headache when I look at these things. This one's a little bit better. This one's not that bad. If you can't see it, then you're fine. But what this thing does is essentially, this whole thing is a projector. There are speakers that pop out of the side, which are these little rectangular ones. You can store them on the side there. And let me see if there's any other pictures here. And there's also speakers here that pop out of the back. So the speakers that pop out of the back, I believe these are the front, left, right. And then the ones on the sides, you could use the speakers that pop out of the side, like these guys here. Okay. So these speakers here would be your surround speakers. Is that right? One of these are your surround speakers. I think these are the surround speakers. I think these are the ones that pop out the back are the front speakers. They detach out of the projector, and you can set them up in a Dolby Atmos setup. They also have up-firing drivers on them as well. If you're going to use this outside for an outdoor projector type of situation, the Dolby Atmos effect doesn't work because you need a ceiling for the sound to bounce off of. So kind of a relevant point that they did that. But if you're going to use this inside the house, then it's okay. It works okay if you place the speakers properly. There's also a pair of microphones. If you guys had seen the X1 review that I did, it does come with some microphones which you can use to speak into, you and a guest. If you're at a barbecue, you have an announcement, a wedding announcement or something like that, you're having a party, it works pretty good. And the plug pops out of the front, so you will need some power to power this thing up. But this is the whole thing, man. So yeah, so the speakers here, front speakers, and then you get the back speakers. And then there is a built-in subwoofer in this thing. And they also have they also sell an inflatable 200-inch screen, which they did send me. So I got to set this up outside, and it works pretty good. I mean, I didn't realize how big 200 inches was, but 200 inches is a huge screen, especially with an inflatable huge screen. So this review is coming up. I think they're letting me release it on September or October or something. I don't even know. They keep pushing it back. But I think there's like 2 reviews on YouTube now for it. It's the Nebula X1 Pro. This is coming up soon. I think this is like a $5,000 projector. It's got 3,500 ANSI lumens. I mean, it's the exact same thing as the X1. 110% BT 2020, 5,001 native contrast ratio, 56,000 dynamic contrast. It does have an iris, which is very nice for a projector of this caliber. Not too many projectors have irises, but this one does. There's also an optical zoom as well, which is cool. And this is their spherical glass lens, which is, again, very nice for a theater of this caliber. So that's the Nebula X1 Pro, which is coming out sometime in September, I think. Whenever they approve my video, they have to make sure that I had hit all the relevant points for them, and whatever they're rolling it out. I think they have a Kickstarter or something like that, so they want all these reviews to come out at the same time, even though it's already out now. But that is Nebula X1 Pro. That's coming out. Another review that I've got in the burner here, which is ready to rock. I feel like every single YouTuber has reviewed one of these U-Green NASs. I have put it off for a while because I never needed a U-Green NAS or a NAS of any shape or form. I've always had, the Zidu player. I've had the Zapiti players. I got, how many Zidus do I have now? I think I've got like 2 or 3 Zidus now, but I've always just like added drives inside the player. But after about 4 years, I finally run out of space. I think I have like 24 gigs or something like that in my Zidu 8000, and it's totally filled up. And I've had to get some USB hubs and put external USB drives on it. So USB storage on the USB drives on the back of the Zidu player. So they've reached out. They usually reach out to me like twice a month. I've always turned them down, but they were just like, "Hey man, do you want to review it?" I was like, "You know what? I think is the time where I do need some extra space for my 4K rips." So this is coming up soon. This is it's a 4-bay NAS. I think you can max it out at 120 terabytes, and does all this stuff. It's 8 gig of RAM and 2.5 gig LAN. Does 4K transcoding. You can download the app on your iPad or phone, and you can have it transcode from the NAS over to your mobile device, which is kind of cool. I mean, I would never use that feature personally, but it does it. And then, of course, you can always, upload your stuff from your phone over to this. So if you didn't want to use Google Drive and stuff, which it's pretty cool. So you don't have to pay. I don't know what I pay. I think I pay like $15 a month for Google Drive, but that's for like 40 gigs. I think I pay $15. I have like 16 gigs here, and I can just upload all my photos to the NAS, which is pretty cool. So that review is coming up soon. Not too special because there's like a bazillion of these Ugreen reviews coming out, but listen, I had to join the other YouTubers and do this. So that's also coming up. That's already ready to rock. It's already in the queue, which will be up at any moment in time. And only $365. Not bad. I always thought NASs were like super expensive because I never really shopped for them. Well, they get expensive once you start buying some drives. And what else we got here? All right, so that's it for the topics I wanted to bring up today. Let's see who's in the chat. Anybody in the chat? Mosen, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. What's your opinion on video? It was a bit too dark. The Final Reckoning. I didn't get the impression that it was too dark. I mean, I saw it once at the house. I'm waiting for it to come on 4K disc to do the review, but I saw the digital and I thought it was all right looking. I mean, it's kind of a dark movie to begin with, but I thought it looked good for me. What's up, Howard Wang? Walt Disney screwed up. Those steelbooks look pretty dope. Better order early, folks. The sharks on eBay will be out. Yeah, once those pre-orders come up, they always sell it really quick. Man of Steel is a top 10 superhero movie of all time. Also one of the best Atmos tracks of all time. It's a good one, yeah. I think I gave it like a 9.9 in my review. Man of Steel, underrated. Good movie. I mean, I still like Superman. I'm still a fan of the new Superman. Ballerina was actually better than I thought. Beats John Wick 3 and the shotgun scene had good punch. Ballerina. I thought Ballerina was all right. I wasn't a big fan of it. I thought Ballerina was kind of boring, but that's just me. Why is 4K less expensive than Blu-ray? Is it less expensive than Blu-ray? Let me see. What are we talking about here? Oh, you're right, it is. I don't know. Look at that. So the 4K is $28. The Blu-ray is $32. That's pretty crazy. Well, for you guys that are like, 4Ks cost too much, well, there you go. It's cheaper than the Blu-ray. So if you're going to pick it up now while you can. Will you review the UST Nexigo Mark II? I don't think so. I don't think I will. I think they reached out to me, but I don't know. These there's always some of these weird off-brand projector companies that are always just popping up making USTs. No, probably not. I think what was the last off-brand one I did was for movie. I think for movie was like the last kind of off-brandish thing. But I think everybody really liked that for movie projector. I think it like won best projector one year or something like that. Best USC projector. Hey, buddy. Jill Brazer, you need quality AV gear to do reviews. I agree. Terminator Juice. Nothing worse than a 4K reviewer who has a 65-inch TV and Dolby Atmos soundbar or bouncy house Atmos. Very true. That's why I can't even watch most of the. Sometimes, occasionally, if I review in a movie and maybe I am unsure about something, or maybe I just think something's off, or maybe I think my display is off or something, I might go and just check out another review before I post mine just to see. But then it's like most of these 4K reviewers are not really. I mean, there's like maybe one or two people that are kind of judgmental, but most of the guys are just like, you gotta buy the disc. This is the new 4K disc, and you need it. You need to have it. It's a limited time, limited edition. You need to buy it now before it sells out. The greatest transfer ever. And a lot of those guys are like that. So I can't keep up with those guys. Some of those guys, they get deliveries like every Tuesday or whatever. Every week they'll get a box of Blu-rays, and I can't keep up with those guys. Those collectors. I'm not a collector, so if I was a collector, maybe that'd be kind of cool. But some of these guys, they try to review like 12 DVDs and Blu-rays and 4Ks every week. I don't know how those guys do it. Shane, I agree with you 100%. Blu-ray reviewers who have entry-level home theater systems lose all credibility with me with their commentary regarding the disc's audio quality. There you go, Reggie Owens. Not sure. AudioQuest 303, Marantz 7705, Emotiva Gen 3, S150s. I used to have the MK S150s. Always wanted to have their subwoofers, but I never did. However, I did review their 15X or the X15, MK MX150 subs, and a little 55-inch LG. My desktop speakers, by the way, they're M&K. I have M&K S85 desktop speakers. Still kicking, still going strong. I mean, I got a bunch of speakers in here, but I really like the M&Ks. At least the older M&Ks. The newer stuff is like, the build quality is a little questionable. BVS on Kaleidoscape is insane. You can see every LED in Batman's eyes on his armored suit. Got mine connected to the 77-inch 95L. I know it's a small screen, but the quality is crispy. What's up, Devin Lott? List your favorite films of the summer. My favorite films of the summer. Favorite films of the summer. I mean, I like all the big ones. All the big ones that came out were good. I like Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. I liked Superman. Fantastic Four was decent. What else did I watch? I watched The Roses. I watched that today. That was all right. I believe The Roses was a remake of War of the Roses with Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas, I think. That wouldn't be on my favorite list, but it was good though. It was all right. And what else is good that I saw? I saw a bunch of stuff. Those are the recent ones that I saw. 28 Years Later. I really wanted to like 28 Years Later, but I just thought it was goofy. I didn't find it like intriguing at all, especially that ending. What do you think is an entry-level system? That's an entry-level system. If you're reviewing movies and you don't have a center channel, that's an entry-level system. NZ500 or Bravia Projector 7, which one should I get? Well, I haven't seen either of them, so I can't really say. But what is the NZ500? Is that Is that 1800 lumens? NZ 500 JVC. Because I know the 700, or sorry, I know the Sony is 2200 lumens. So the 500 would be where is it? Where's the specs here? 2000 lumens. Yeah, so I mean, hey, I had when I reviewed the NZ 700, I just I had really good blacks, but then again, it's a dim projector, so and the 500 would be even dimmer than the 700, whereas the Sony is a brighter projector. I personally would probably go with the Sony because the Sonys have a good tone mapping this year. They have good black levels this year. If it's a brighter projector, I mean, black levels I think would be negligible at that point. However, NZ500 is probably going to be so much dimmer that the blacks are probably just going to look good anyways. I mean, if you're at like 150, I'm going to say if you're like 120 and below, then I think you'll be safe with either one. But I would still probably go with the Projector 7. If you're above 120, then I would definitely go with the Projector 7. Because the 500 and 700 is just, they're too dim. Just too dim. At least for 150. For 150, the 700, NZ500 was just too dim for me to enjoy. I think, there was a movie that I reviewed on. I reviewed Wicked on the NZ700. And I don't know. I think I was one of the first to review that movie. So I think when I said the movie was kind of, I said the movie looked dull, which it is. The color palette on Wicked is kind of flat. It's a bit dull looking, but I also just said it wasn't bright, which I should have cross-checked with my TV. But I didn't because I went directly to the 700 and I was just like, oh man, this movie's just dim. And I think I said that in my review and people kind of went with it. And then when I went back and then I looked at it again when I had the NZ900 and then the Epson 7000, I said, oh man, wow, I think I might have reviewed this movie wrong because that projector was not powerful enough for my screen. And I thought it was dim. So I kind of gave that movie probably a lower score than I should have because the brightness and the colors are actually better than what I had seen. So getting the right screen and the right size for the projector is imperative if you're going to enjoy it to its fullest. And if you're reviewing movies, definitely get the right projector for the screen. Which, by the way, the Wicked is a good-looking movie. I probably should have rated it much higher. I have the Sony Bravia 8, and it's awesome. I got the Bravia 8 too. I concur. The Bravia 8 is an awesome projector. It's actually not. I don't know if I did the comparison in the review, but the Bravia Projector 8 and the NZ700 and the NZ900 are very close in brightness. So it's like the Projector 8, the Bravia 8 is something like, what is it, like $19,000 now? $18,000 or $19,000, and the NZ900 is like $30,000 or $32,000. It's definitely not worth twice as much as the Sony. That's a given. It does have slightly better black levels, I'll give it that. Tone mapping, they both kind of prioritize different things in their tone mapping, so I could go either way with the tone mapping. 3D, I don't know if I would spend another $15,000 or $16,000 for just to have 3D. And 8K, I never used 8K when I had the NZ800 or the NZ900 in for review, so I never used that. So I never found that useful. So it's like, would I pick the Bravia 8 over the 900? I probably would. So I have the Bravia 8 now, and then above it, I have a little cheap BenQ DLP that I keep for 3D movies, and I have them on a splitter. So I'll turn off the Bravia 8, and then that'll kick on the BenQ for my 3D movies. And then I have a different preset in the Lumigen for 3D content, and then I have another preset in the Lumigen for 4K content. But yeah, I'm a fan of the Bravia 8. I'm kind of curious what the Bravia 9 would look like. Are you coming to Cedia this week? I will not be in Cedia. I will not be in Cedia. No. What is this? TCL projector. No. Okay. No, I will not be at Cedia. Listen, I usually don't go to these shows because I don't like to be in crowded spaces. I don't care if they have the best system in the world there. Unless it's just me going with my camera person to go check out these expensive rooms, then I typically just won't go because I don't. What's the point? I can see all the new stuff on YouTube when everybody else films it. I don't need to be there in person. All of these rooms are never ideal rooms. They might look ideal, but they're never ideal rooms because there's just so much shit going on outside of the rooms. And yeah, no. Kind of a waste of money. Travis, saying it doesn't make sense is different than saying they've been bad thus far, neither of which I agree with. Not sure what you're referring to. Oh, I guess you guys are talking about something. Do you guys remember when the standard for home theater screen size was 27 inches? We've come a long way from those days with 100-inch screens. I think when I had first got into home theater, I think I had it was definitely 4x3 TV. I don't even remember the brand, but I don't even remember the brand anymore. It was so long ago. But I think it was a little bit bigger than 27. I think it was like a 43 or something. Any reason you would want to switch your processor to the new Tron CI? Just wondering. Well, as far as I know, I believe the audio over IP feature is still supposed to come to the Tron Altitude 32 processors. There's some outputs on the back of it. I believe it's got AES outputs on the back of the 32. And 4 years ago when I had them on the channel, they said that feature was coming. That was 4 years ago. I don't know if they abandoned that idea altogether, but I do believe that it's supposed to still be coming to the Altitude 32. Because that's the only thing I think is really added with the new CI is audio over IP. Also, if I was going to go with the CI, I would need all new amplifiers because none of my amplifiers are digital. Because if I went with the CI, I would still need a DAC because you need to go from digital to analog, and there's no DAC inside the CI. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. But you would have to go outside. At least I would have to go from the CI into a DAC over to my amplifiers. Because my amplifiers are analog, they've got XLRs or the DB25 connection. So, that would be a very expensive upgrade. Or, I don't even know if it's an upgrade, a side grade maybe. I don't know if they fixed that little delay at the beginning when you start movies playing or not. I would hope they would fix that since this is from the ground up, but I don't see myself switching to the CI at all because I would need all new gear. And as far as I know, this is the Altitude 32 and 16 are still kind of the flagships in their lineup. This is just like an extra edition. I was told it wasn't their flagship. It's just like another one in the series. There you go. There is a DAC for those 8 XLRs. Oh, there you go. So for 8 of them, I would need it, but then for the other 16, I would need a DAC for it. So that would be a very expensive lateral move, I feel. bought the Bravia 8 projector after watching your review last year, and I am glad I did. And you also convinced me to buy 4 Perlison D212s. So brutal. Look at that. Good for you, man. Listen, I still got the Bravia 8, so yeah, congrats on that. Trev is useful for subs or something. I mean, my system is good as is. I don't know if I'd be able to tell the difference, having 20-some speakers going at the same time. Would I be able to hear the difference? I mean, the processing will be all the same. They're still going to use the same code for decoding. Would I be able to hear increased, better SNAD scores or measurements? Highly doubt it. Highly doubt anybody would. So, I mean, listen, unless they're going to give it to me, I don't see myself upgrading. Although the display looks kind of cool. Although I do like the looks of the Altitude 32 better than that little rinky-dink enclosure they have for the CI. Check the Nexigo Mark II you might be interested in. Iris on and SAE work great. I think it gives to the level of JVC projector. Nexigo Mark II. Is that a ultra short throw? Nexigo Mark II. Let me see. Yeah, it's a ultra short throw. Well, I can tell you something, Mosen. There's not a chance in this world that the Nexigo Mark II will ever be close to the JVC projector, because I know that uses a 0.47 DMD in it, and the black levels are not going to be as close to JVC. I don't know what YouTube videos you've been watching, but I know that's false. There's no DLP out there that looks like a JVC. JVC is like just levels above it. It's not even close to the Sony. God, I wouldn't even put it into Epson category. Listen, and I've had a lot of these ultra short throws and DLP projectors. They're just once you see them side by side, there's a pretty huge difference. They're good for what they are, but they're not JVC or Sony level. Sorry to burst your bubble on that one. I meant the 8 XLRs are useful for subs if everything else is going over IP to a digital amp. There you go, yeah. 8 subs. How many subs do I have? I got 1, 2, I got 5, 6, okay. I got 8 subs. All right, so yeah. Yeah, I would definitely need to use all 8 of those XLRs. So then I would still need 18 DACs for all my main speakers. Oh, speaking of processor, in the works, I'll probably just do an unboxing of this, but I'll probably drop this just an unboxing overview maybe tomorrow. But I have got this in for review. This is the Lingdorf MP60 2.1. This is a 16-channel processor. So this has two dedicated subwoofer outputs, and then the rest you can use in. The rest you have how many? You have 14 extra channels for your other speakers. So I believe you can do like 9, and then 5 overheads. So this has HDMI 2.1. It can pass through 8K 60. I believe it has AES as well. So just like the new Tron, I guess this had audio over IP for quite some time now. It's got Room Perfect. That's the only reason why I wanted to get this in, because I've heard some good stuff about Room Perfect. So I want to hear what the room correction sounds like on this. Unfortunately, it's not going to use all my speakers, but it'll still use 14 out of the 18. So that's still cool. One of the coolest looking processors, I think. So 5 HDMI ins, 192 24-bit, has 1 AES, at 192.24, three coaxes, 4 SPDIF, 1 USB audio, microphone is XLR, just like the Trinov is. 16 XLR outs, room perfect, subwoofer level assistant, 32 time adjustable voicings holding high-low pass parametric filters with adjustable gain and Q. So I'm excited to check this out. This has been around for a good, like 4 or 5 years now. And not too many reviews, or any really, at least on YouTube. I think there's a couple of written reviews out, but this looks good. I'm a little surprised, it's been out for so long. I'm surprised they haven't come out with a model with more channels. I believe this is a Danish company too, if I'm not mistaken. Together with the Steinway Lingdorf, Denmark. There we go. Headquarters in Skive, Denmark. Is that Skive? I don't know. I feel like things that come out of Denmark, they don't get a lot of love, because I got those Dolly speakers, and those are from Denmark too. Not too many people interested in those. Why is that? Why does nobody talk about Lingdorf? Because this sounds like should be a pretty awesome processor. I mean, the Macintosh MX, MX123? I think is based off of this processor. It uses Room Perfect. It's just like a rebadged Lingdorf. And then I think the MX120 is based off of Marantz, but I know the Marantz's flagship is basically a Lingdorf processor. I've never heard of one of these, but I am very excited to. I do have the Lingdorf guy. He's coming here the week after Cedia, and we're going to shoot a video here. He's going to set up Room Perfect. I'm sure we'll have a couple tutorials or guides on how to set up Room Perfect and stuff like that, which will be cool. So that's coming. I might do the unboxing tomorrow. I'll post that tomorrow night. But that is in the works. This is a $15,000 processor. Would anybody pick a Lingdorf over a Trinov? Because I know the Trinov is about $4,000 more. That's the question. But then again, you do get an extra. The Trinov is $4,000 more, but it's also 20 channels compared to the 16 channels. So you are getting more channels. Extra $1,000 per channel with the Trinov. But I'm excited to check that out. What amps work with Ethernet cable used for the channels in place of RCA and XLR? Well, you can get the Lingdorf amps. The Lingdorf amps will work with them. A lot of the Pro amps will work with AES. And I think Storm has some amps. And, of course, the new Trinov Altitude 16 audio over IP version will work as well. But audio over IP has been used in professional setups forever. It's now trickling down to the home theater market. Hero of mine, Lingdorf demo was amazing. One of the best I've heard. I have the Avium 90, also very good. Yes, yeah, I've heard the Avium 90 Teo has the Avium 90 from Audioholics. I heard that on his Per-Listen setup, his Per-Listen Revel setup. It did sound pretty good. What about the NZ500 versus the Sony? I wouldn't even get the 5000. The 5000 has probably some of the worst tone mapping. It doesn't even tone map. It just has like a little slider for its tone mapping. So I wouldn't do that. That was the previous generation, which is 2000 lumens. The new version is 2200 lumens. And even when I had the XW7000DS, which was their flagship of the last generation, the tone mapping was just bad. It just wasn't good. And I'm certain the 5000 is going to be equally as bad. Denmark equals expensive because they like to hand make everything over there. Yeah. Oh, I tell you what, man, those Dolly speakers I have, there's like no orange peel on that paint. So they must have really hand buffed those things out because them things are pristine. Pristine speakers, man. And they sound great too. They got the ribbon tweeter, and then they got the soft dome tweeter. And when I reviewed their on-wall speakers, I think last year, maybe 2 years now, one of the best on-wall speakers you can get. Still a little pricey, but you get that dual tweeter setup. Great sounding speakers. What do you think of the JBL 1000 soundbars? I've never heard them. I don't think I even know what they look like. Let me see. JBL. I can't remember the last time I reviewed a soundbar. JBL. Party speakers. Yeah, I see those party speakers everywhere. Oh, that's funny. The JBL wireless mic looks exactly the same as the Anker wireless mic. Huh. I wonder if Anker and JBL is in cahoots. Because they are exact same microphone. Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard a JBL soundbar. Sorry, buddy. The only place I would put a soundbar is maybe in my bedroom. I do have a I don't even know if I would put one in my office. I might put one in my office. Tony James, first, I'm a fan of your content. So, question, I just bought my first SVS PB17 Ultra. Congrats. And I was wondering if you know anything about it. I don't know anything about the PB17 Ultra. I reviewed the SB17 Ultra. But I really did like this 17, the SB17. I got some pretty good, I don't know if it went down to single digits or not. I felt like maybe it went down to like 10 hertz in my room. I don't think I hit single digits, but for those two, for the two that I had, yeah, it was definitely it's probably the best SVS subwoofer that I've heard. So it was definitely better than the PB16 that I used to have, because that thing chuffed like crazy. It literally chuffed like that. For the first day I got my PB16, we thought it was so big and heavy, we just cranked it. We just like chuffed the first thing we popped in there. Definitely don't put in Edge of Tomorrow as your first demo, the first thing. And don't crank it up as loud as you can. Tomlinson Holman, Shane, I like your hat. Where can I get one? I used to drop links in the video description. Where can you get this hat? I got it on Amazon. It's a cheap hat. I don't remember what it's called anymore. I would have to look it up in my orders. But it's oh, you know what? There we go. Let me bring it up here. It's a cheap hat. It's like $20. Every time this gets old, I just get a new one. And man, where is it? Oh, here we go. No, that's not it. Well, it looks like they don't have it anymore. What's up with that? Sorry, buddy. It's a $20 hat on Amazon. Here, let me add it to the screen. Boop. I know it's called Jangool, but I don't see it here. I mean, listen, just type in Newsboy hat on Amazon. You can get them. You can find a plethora of hats. So, yeah, they're here. Just type in Newsboy hat. They're cheap. They're like $20. Super cheap. And when you wear them out, they just get a new one because they're super cheap. Especially if you get like this black one. You can see this black one's been abused quite often. But yeah, $20. Type in Newsboy hat on Amazon. Very inexpensive. I'd have to go through my order history to find it, the exact one. How much markup you think retailers have on equipment they sell? Here in Aussie, it's huge markup. Well, it's huge markup here as well. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a huge discount, but I know some stuff is really marked up pretty big. Why do you think some of these YouTubers have all this great gear in their house? Do you think they all pay retail? Oh, that was one of the things with that comment that I was talking about earlier when he was like, not everybody has 26 speakers in their house. Not a normal person has that, and you got all your stuff for free. Obviously, I didn't pay full retail. I don't think that's a secret to anybody watching my channel. If you're watching YouTube, if you're watching a YouTuber and they have really expensive gear, 100% chance that they have not paid full retail for any of that stuff. If they're a bigger reputable YouTube channel, if it's just a small up and comer YouTube channel, then they probably did buy it themselves. But if they've been in the game for a while, chances are they got a pretty good discount on it. So yeah. I have two SB3000s and two PB3000 subs in my room, and the bass is great. So I can't imagine what the SB and PB17s would sound like. You gotta step it up, Terminator Juice. You need to get yourself some SB17s. Percy Bedford. What's up, Percy? We were just talking about the Lingdorf MP60 2.1 processor. Retail $1499.99. Have you guys also noticed? I remember when I started YouTube, I came straight out the gate. I had the $17,000 Sony 695 ES. I think I had an Integra processor. I was running all separates, had all Rotel amps, had the M&K 150s, had a scope screen, had a Panamorph lens. So I started out the gate, I think, kind of like on the higher end. And I used to get called out. All the time because people just hate on me for having expensive stuff, I guess. So I was just like, you know what? Me and the boys were like, we're going to start the channel. I got all this great gear because I was working at Best Buy at the time. So I had all this great gear. Got some really good discounts at Best Buy. Oh, by the way, markups on product. I know because I used to work at Best Buy. And if you want to get good deals, get yourself a part-time job at Best Buy. Get all the stuff that you want, and then you quit. And then there you go. Now you have some nice gear. But have you guys noticed the trend that it seems like everybody has really expensive gear nowadays? It's like everybody just talks about really expensive gear. Back in 2016-17, everybody was talking about Denon Marantz AVRs. It was Denon Marantz AVRs. It was Klipsch speakers. It was SVS subwoofers. Polk would be thrown in there every once in a while. And that was pretty much the landscape of YouTube home theater. I'm not saying that I started the trend or anything like that, but I definitely had more upper echelon stuff out the gate when everybody was kind of mid-level, entry level. But nowadays, it's like when I got the Trinov, I think I was one of the first YouTubers to get a Trinov, and people were like, "Oh my God, you're crazy! It's not spare change no more." Dude, everybody has a Trinov now. I mean, every single channel, even the small channels with like 10,000 subscribers, have a Trinov now. It's insane. Everybody has gone so ultra high end. It's insane. It's pretty crazy. Everybody has a Kaleidoscape nowadays. The channels that didn't have a Kaleidoscape, they all have Kaleidoscapes. Mind you, I was one of the first to have the Kaleidoscape and do a review on it too. I think that review had like something like 100,000 views or something like that. Everybody's got Trinov. Everybody's got Kaleidoscape. Mad VR. Everybody's got a Mad VR or a Lumigen now. I feel like I've been left out. I feel like I don't even have like the best stuff anymore. I'm just like everybody else. I feel like I'm just mixed in with everybody else. It's a little crazy. I mean, I don't know if that's the reality with most of the viewers of the channel. Do most guys out there, do most normal people, have most of you guys traded out your processors or receivers for Trinovs and Storms? Because I don't see anybody really talking about receivers anymore. It's a pretty rare occurrence that I see a receiver review. It's kind of a crazy trend. I mean, I was kind of just brainstorming. I was like, why do views kind of suck anymore? Like, I don't get it. Why the views are kind of sucking. Um, I was like, maybe I should go back and just start reviewing more entry level. Maybe I should just start reviewing receivers again, because I feel when I was reviewing receivers and mid level stuff that my subscriber count was just like constantly getting more and more every month. But it's been so slow lately. Partially I blame getting a Trinov, because once you get like the top tier stuff, you kind of don't want to go backwards. So part of that is to blame for my channel growth, I think. But yeah, it's kind of crazy that everyone is reviewing the upper end tier anymore. What's this? JBL. I bet Kscape servers are 80% plus profit. I don't know. I mean, I know they don't. I know they don't bank off the prices of the movies. Like, that's the studios. They they control the price for the movie, but I'm sure Kaleidoscape controls the price for their hardware. Do you think Arcam is going to do a refresh on their processor and AVRs? Also, do you think Marantz is going to drop a replacement for the AV7706? I mean, Arcam. I feel like they come out with something new recently. I felt like they had a refresh, like a Mark II of one of their processors, but I think they're about due. I mean, it's been a few years since I had what was it, the AV40 or something like that. So that was a few years ago. I would bet that I bet there's a new refresh coming pretty soon. If I work at Best Buy, Shane, I would be broke always, and that's not a good idea. I'll tell you, man, the discounts were pretty good at Best Buy. I don't know if it still is anymore, but they were pretty good. I'm talking sometimes better than 50%, depending on what you're getting. Do you still pop in Power Rangers in your home theater? Yeah, I still pop it in from time to time. Just a little intro when the ship flies overhead. That's good. And then when they escape the cops at the beginning, I'll still pop that in there. Those dudes are trying to buy their way into the upper tier of YouTube channels. Salute. Ever thought about going JTR speakers? I've looked at their speakers, and those speakers are really big. Wouldn't have the space for those speakers. They're just too big. I mean, I could put them in there, but then it's like trying to walk around to get to the second row, or not bumping your shoulder into them would be pretty impossible. So they wouldn't be a good fit for my room. They just would be too big. Which, by the way, sometimes I'll see on the forums, or I'll see like a tour video or something like that with a bunch of JTR speakers in a room that's smaller than mine. I'm like, what are you guys like? How are you guys maneuvering around all these speakers? It's like, get the right size speakers for your room. Just because it's big doesn't mean it's good. It's gonna sound good in your room. Like, shit, man. I see so many people like stacks and stacks of speakers in their front wall, and just like 3 seats in there, or they're trying to put 6 seats in like a 14 by 15 room. I'm like, what are you guys doing, man? I still rock Bang & Olufsen Towers Infinity surround sound with Pioneer receiver and CD player in my garage. Yes, more AV receivers to review, Shane. I don't think there's anything good out right now. I think all the stuff has been reviewed already. I think all the Denon Marantz stuff. I think the last Marantz I did was over on Audioholics. It was that was the processor. It was the AV20, AV Amp 20, which still pretty pricey, especially for Marantz. I think I mentioned this before. You inspired me and probably plenty of other folks into this hobby. I was in a bad place in 2017 when I discovered your channel. Since a lot has happened. Thanks, Shane. It was very nice. Thank you, Cinema Lord. Percy Bedford, will you review the Aperion Theatris Cinema series of speakers? I mean, I had them on the channel that one time, and I think he had mentioned that they were going to try to get THX certified. So I mean, I may at some point. Listen. I still got a bunch of speakers. I still got some Focal speakers I got to review. I got the Dollies I got to review. I got the Procellas I got to review. So I'm a little backed up in the speaker front. But possibly at one point, I think at some point I'll probably review them. If they actually get their THX certification, I'll definitely want to check them out. I mean, they look cool speakers. They look like cool speakers. And like I've seen some of like the unboxing speakers on like Elin's channel and Brad's channel, and it's funny because the packaging looks exactly like the Perlison Arendal packaging. So I'm wondering if those Aperion speakers are coming out of the same factory out of China, because the packaging looks exactly the same. I mean, the enclosures kind of look very similar as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're coming from the same place. Shane, what do you think of people with a star ceiling in their home theater? I personally think it's kind of dumb. I think if you have like a really big, like if you got like 3 rows of like 5 or 6 rows, 6 seats per row, and you have like a big ass warehouse of a home theater, I think it looks kind of cool in that situation. But like for my home theater, I think it would look kind of tacky. I think it looks cheesy. I mean, listen, if you like that stuff, that's good for you. But in like normal people spaces, I think it looks a little goofy. Because we know it don't look like we know it doesn't look like a star. It doesn't look like you're outside. What else we got here? Anything else good? Well, I think we're going to wrap it up here. So I already touched on all the topics I want to touch on. Tron, Ballerina, having a good setup. Nebula X1 Pro, the DH4300. I also have, coming up, where's the screen at? I've got a couple of like 1080p projector reviews. I don't know how many people are going to watch this video, but Nebula's got a pair of 1080p portable projectors. One is like a projector / speaker. And then TCL also has a little 1080p portable projector that they sent over for me to review. So, I mean, I guess this is for like, I don't know, if you just want to have something small to carry around to give to the kids or something. It's definitely not home theater focused. It's more of just like a lifestyle. 3 lifestyle projectors that are inexpensive, I guess. Under $800. I think one's like $400, one's $800. I think the other one, I think, is like something like $300. So those are coming up soon, I think within the next month. So be on the lookout for those. And what else? I think that's it. But let me just answer these last 2, then we're going to bounce. My projector image gives off a slant in the lower left frame, I think because I got it off to the right instead of centered. I think I need to build a perch, but I don't have the know-how. I mean, you can get shelves. You can get shelves at Home Depot. I mean, I don't know what kind of projector you have, but you can get some shelves at Home Depot. And will someone do World Trade Center 4K review? I feel like Tony James. I feel like you've asked me this question like the past few times I've done the live stream. I don't know, man. You must like that movie. I think that's the one with Nick Cage, right? Let me see. World Trade Center. That's an older movie. Why is this not coming up? World Trade 4K. Yeah, it's a Nick Cage movie. I had no idea this was even on 4K. Let me see here. Boom. I don't know why it's not working. World Trade Center 4K. $33. Wow, why is it so much money? When did this come out? That's right, Michael Pena was in this. I remember it was a pretty good movie back in the day. This was like when Nick Cage was still, well, Nick Cage is always kind of hit and miss. Sometimes Nick Cage will do a good movie, then he'll go back and do 2 crappy movies, and he'll get another good movie. I think Nick Cage is going to be in the new season of True Detective on HBO Max, which I like. I really liked the first season of True Detective with who's in that? It was Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey. That was a great show. I felt like True Detective was kind of like one of the originals that really kind of set off how good TV series could be. And then we started seeing a lot more A-list actors being in TV shows. But the word is he's going to be in the new season. So looking forward to that. I mean, most of the seasons have been pretty good. The Vince Vaughn one was kind of weak. I didn't watch the third one with Jodie Foster, but I might go back and watch it though. But I hadn't planned on doing it. So no promises. I didn't even know World Trade was even out in 4K. Shane, is there any update on F1 IMAX and where it would be available to watch? Thanks a ton. Love from India. As far as I know, there is no IMAX on the 4K Blu-ray. So this is from an insider that says no IMAX on the 4K Blu-ray, which he's been pretty spot on for the most part. YouTube should have plenty of reviews of the World Trade movie 4K. It came out 8/12. Oh, so it came out this year. Had no idea. But all right, guys, I'm gonna head out of here. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comment section. Also, hit the like button. It always helps when you hit the like button on the videos that you watch. I don't know why I don't get more likes on the videos, even though I get a ton of views. But sometimes I'll get more likes on videos that get less views than some of the big ones. Doesn't make sense. Just tap the little thumbs up button. Helps out the algorithm. Pushes out the video. You know what? Just go down the entire playlist and just tap the like button on them all. Thanks for watching.